Hello friend, this is Sanjay Kumar, creator of SelectorsHub and TestCase Studio. Please subscribe to the channel if you are new to get all the updates about SelectorsHub, TestCase Studio or any new tool coming from my end. This is very detailed tutorial about SelectorsHub with all the new features of 4.0 and all the features which it has. First of all, the very first question is what is SelectorsHub? So SelectorsHub is a free browser extension which is available for all the browsers. It is used to solve any kind of and all kinds of problems related to XPath and selectors and WebElement. This is a huge time saver browser plugin which has support for shadow DOM, nested iframe, nested shadow DOM, SVG, dynamic elements, dynamic drop down elements, sub menu, each and everything you can handle, like every kind of web elements you can handle through it, and this will solve all your problems. Like you can generate the access based XPath, relative XPath, index based XPath, relative CSS selector. It supports all kinds of technology, like it's not just for Selenium or Cypress. If you're using Playwright, Selenium, Cypress, any JS based automation framework, or you're working as a JS developer, then also it gives you JS path, jQuery, which is really helpful to complete your task really efficiently and very quick. So it also has the smart editor. It supports the error handling for selectors, like what's wrong in your selectors, what is there, like what is missing in your XPath, all those things it supports, and it really help you a lot in learning and understanding about XPath and selectors. So you can read all those details features here if you want, or else, like, of course, I'm going to explain each and everything. So from where you can download it, so here from the selectorshub.com homepage, if you go, you will find all the download links for whichever browser you want. So suppose we want for Chrome, so just click on this, and it will open these SelectorsHub in the browser store. So if you haven't already installed it, it will, so you remove from Chrome. So I have already installed it, it's showing here. If you haven't installed, then it will show add to Chrome. So click on that add to Chrome and just follow steps, and just one click it is required, and then it will be added here. By default, SelectorsHub logo will not be visible, it will be like this. So you will have to click on this logo, default extension logo, click on this and then pin to toolbar. Now if you click on this, you will get some information and instruction how to use it. So, and important links like YouTube tutorials, Telegram group, Slack, and like if you face any issue, so all those links you will find it here. Now after adding SelectorsHub into your browser, I would request you that please restart your browser to make a best use of it, and so you don't miss anything or you don't face any challenge. Or open your website in the new tab, and make sure you don't try SelectorsHub, or like in general don't try any plugin on blank tab. Like this is a blank tab, this is not google.com, there is no URL in the address bar. So here if you will try to open SelectorsHub, then you will see that SelectorsHub will not work. And another thing, like where to find SelectorsHub in DevTools. So on the left side you will see that Elements tab is there. On the right side there are sidebars, right, like styles, computed layout, etc. And then there will be two arrow icons. So if you click on these two arrow, SelectorsHub is the last tab, click on this. Here you will see that. So now if you see that, as we are trying to use SelectorsHub in the blank tab, this is not google.com, this should be there should be a URL in the address bar. So that is the reason SelectorsHub suggests you that, oops, look like you are missing something, there should be a URL like google.com. So make sure you open google.com, and don't try on browser store. Like this is the browser store, so here also extension will not work, not just SelectorsHub, none of the extension will work. So don't try SelectorsHub or any extension, any browser extension on blank tab as well as on the browser store. Now what SelectorsHub suggests, open google.com. Let's open google.com. And here if you will open SelectorsHub now, right click, click on inspect, and open SelectorsHub. So here you will see that everything is working fine, and this is how it looked like. Let me just zoom in so it will have better view. So this is how SelectorsHub will look for you. Now let me explain the UI, what all things you will get, and then we'll go inside the features. So here this is indicating that XPath and CSS selector. You can write your XPath and CSS selector here. You can build it here and verify that. This plus button is to save this XPath, whatever XPath you have written. Then this is for case insensitive, generate the case insensitive XPath and CSS selector. This is a toggle button to turn off this auto suggest mode, like if you want to turn it off on off. Then this toggle is to, like, when you write XPath here, you get the smart suggestion here. So for that, this is to generate the access based XPath. These are the copy buttons to copy these selectors. It will generate all possible selectors for the inspected element. So you see that this is the current inspected element, and here it is showing all possible selectors for this. If you scroll down, then you will see all of them. These are the attribute filters, like if you want to generate XPath with any particular attribute, like it is generating a title you want with something else, then in that case this filter attribute filter option is there. Command option is there, like you can append the command multiple XPath generation. So all these buttons are here. We'll go through one by one. So this is how it will look like when you will initially open it. Now first thing, let's understand how can we build our own XPath and CSS selector in SelectorsHub. So here you see that it shows you the message, write and verify XPath and CSS selector here. So suppose you want to write an XPath for this element here. So what you do is start typing. As soon as you start typing here, SelectorsHub will smartly auto suggest the all possible suggestion for this inspected element here when you type, like in a smart editor, like in smart editor like IntelliJ or Eclipse. When you start typing, you get this auto suggest, right? Here auto drop down suggestion, like when you type here, then you get those methods, something like that, right? So similarly, like in SelectorsHub, so SelectorsHub is the very first smart editor for XPath and selectors. So here just select this, and you just start typing the way you type the selectors or XPath. You will start getting the auto suggestion here. Along with that, if you notice here, it also gives you the occurrences, like for this suggestion there is one matching node, and likewise if you scroll down, there are like 3 matching node for this one. So if you here select that and press enter, you will see that it will show them. And also it also shows all the matching nodes here, and it will highlight that in the UI. And if it will be somewhere like hidden, that will also show in when you will mouse over it, change the color of this highlighted element. Like this input is for this one, this second one is somewhere hidden, so it's not visible in the UI, and the third one is this Google search. So if you when you mouse over, it will show that. And if any element will be hidden somewhere, it will scroll that into the UI. So this is how you can verify and write the selectors here in SelectorsHub. Like suppose you want to write the CSS selector for this element, so you just start typing CSS selector. So CSS selector could be like your, if you are typing in that format, like tag name and then square bracket attribute is equal to attribute value, in that case like this you type, and this way you can select. Or suppose you are like you want to write your CSS selector with class name or ID, then class name, how you write, like you just type dot, right? Replace all the space by dot. So just type dot, and you see that this is how it will generate, it will suggest you the CSS selector with class. If ID will be there, then it you can just type the hashtag, and then it will generate the it will suggest you the ID one. Like there should be an ID, of course, for the element which you have inspected. So if ID will be there, then when you will type hash, it will suggest the ID as well. So this is how you can quickly build your XPath and CSS selector in SelectorsHub. And if you will be like, when you will type anything or anything wrong when you will do in your SelectorsHub will suggest that as well. So how SelectorsHub error handling feature works, suppose you missed something here. So in that case, like SelectorsHub will tell you that this is invalid XPath or invalid CSS selector, and what's missing, like close square bracket is missing here. So it's suggesting you that close square bracket is missing, so that you can fix it here. If suppose you have typed something wrong here, then it will suggest you that add tag name after forward slash. What is wrong in there? If you will add something here, then it will let you know that what is possible after this element, after this character. So that all you will learn from here. It also gives you the cheat sheet, so if you click here you will find you can learn more about it. So it really help you a lot to learn a lot more about XPath, CSS selector, functions and errors. So all those things you will find it here. So I hope this will really help you a lot to learn all about XPath and CSS selector. So for the beginners, those who are trying to learn, those who are teaching about XPath and selectors, they can really use this feature to learn about XPath and selectors, more about learn more about error handling, what all things are possible, what are not possible. This will really help you. And you just want to use it as an editor, of course you can keep it off and then you simply use it in editor mode like this. So this will be very easy for you. Now you see that simply you can write here and use it. Now suppose you want to build an XPath with respect to some other element. So let me just go back and here show you. So suppose we want to write an XPath for certificate with respect to TestCase Studio. Okay, so how can we build the XPath with respect to some other element using access? And you see that now SelectorsHub has opened because we with our settings, because we have turned off that there. So it will save whatever you want. It will configuration, whatever configuration you will do, it will save in local. So do not worry about that. Now here we want to generate the XPath for certificate with respect to TestCase Studio. So first we'll inspect the TestCase Studio and we'll write the XPath for this. Then we'll find the common parent for both, and then we'll from there we will write the XPath for this element. So let's see. There could be multiple approach. I'm just showing one. So here we write the XPath for this A, and then this is TestCase Studio. Now we want the common parent for both. So this UL is the common parent for both, right? So here you just type, let's say ancestor here, and what is the ancestor for this one? This is UL. So we have got the common parent, and now we want to write the XPath for certificate. So now inspect the certificate and write the XPath for this one. So this is how we have created the XPath for certificate with respect to TestCase Studio. So you can build the XPath for any element for with respect to other element using access in SelectorsHub, and it will make your process really fast. You will not have to copy the values from here. You will not have to like inspect one by one and again. So this will really save you a lot more time. Now suppose we want to write a new XPath. Suppose we want to write an XPath with respect to for change log with respect to TestCase Studio. So, and there we have written one XPath, so this we will have to copy and paste somewhere, right, to write a new XPath, and we don't want to lose this as well. So what you can do now, you need not to go back and paste somewhere. There's a feature here, you can save this value in SelectorsHub, and whenever you need it you can fetch that. So click on this, the value is saved, and whenever you will need, that value is saved here. So now we want to write an XPath for a sponsor. Just inspect the sponsor and delete this, select this, and this is how we have written the XPath for a sponsor with respect to TestCase Studio. And you want, if you want to get the previous value, just click here and get that previous one. So this is how you can like save the values here in SelectorsHub, and whenever you want you can access them, and you can save maximum 10 values right now here, and after that it will be like, let me show you. Suppose this one more value will saved, one more value will save. So there are now 3 value has been saved. So whichever you need at any point of time, you just click on that, that will copy and paste here. And if you want to like if the value goes beyond 10, so then the last one, the very first value which was saved, that will be deleted and it will save the new value. There's a detailed tutorial I have created for this one, so that you can refer. So this is how you can use the editor. And now you see that sometimes what happen, like when you are writing and typing XPath, you see that it gives you the auto suggest, but you don't want to see this one. So in that case you can keep it off. and now when you will type, you will not get that auto suggest thing. So you can keep on typing and you can copy the value from here, because some people don't want to see the auto suggesting. So in that case, like, you can keep it off. So this is how you can use this toggle. So I hope you understood these. This plus button is for save selector in this, and this is to turn off the auto drop down suggestion while typing. This toggle is for, like, if you don't want to see these auto suggest, so keep it off. Now let me show you this button here. Click to make selectors case insensitive. So you see that it is generating selector like this, where S is capital, all P and everything is small. So if we click on this value, it will copy paste here. So suppose if we right now it is finding one matching node. If we make that capital S to a small s, in that case it will show 0 matching node. So how can we make this XPath case insensitive? So you just click on this and it will convert your XPath into case insensitive. Now you see that with the small s it is working fine. And suppose if there is any CSS selectors as well, let me show you here for better example. Now you see that there are these class value is like uppercase and lowercase, camel cases are there in the name, camel case are there. So in that case, like, you just click on this and it will convert your CSS selector as a case insensitive CSS selector. So this will really help you a lot, this feature. So this button is basically used to convert your XPath and CSS selector into case insensitive selectors. Now let's come one by one. So this is attribute filter here. It is generating, like, let's say it's generating with class, this one, and we don't want XPath with class. So what you can do, you just uncheck this class. Now it will generate with something else. And why we'll have to generate without class? Because it's suggesting you that there's a selectors also generate the dynamic XPath and CSS selector. So it suggests you that class looks dynamic, so uncheck the class checkbox. So this is how you can generate the dynamic XPath. Now this XPath pretty much is stable for this element. There's no dynamic value, so that's where it will help you. Now suppose you want to generate the like it is generating with class and name. Suppose you want to generate with area label. So that in that case you can pass your attribute name here, area label, and hit enter. You will see that it will generate with the area label. So this is how it will help you to, like, you can generate XPath and CSS selector with your own attribute. Just pass the value here. You can keep it off as well, like, you doesn't want to see this attribute filter thing, you can keep it off. But whatever settings you have done, make sure that you remember that, because next time when you will inspect some other element, it will generate with your attribute which you have passed. So basically the first preference is given to your attribute what you have passed here, and then rest of these things. I have also created the separate tutorial for this attribute filter feature. Here is the link. Please watch this to understand the preferences of, like, what preference SelectorsHub choose while generating the XPath and CSS selector over the attributes. Then here you see that these XPath and all things are generated, but you can copy this XPath, of course, and go back to your editor and paste that here. But still you will have to type this command, right? Like find element by XPath. This command you will have to type again and again, and then you will have to paste this XPath inside that. But suppose you don't want to type this command as well. So in that case, you can get the complete command from SelectorsHub. Just click on this command button, set driver command, and here pass that command. And wherever you have written, suppose XPath, inside this command, just replace that XPath with XPath value keyword and hit enter. You see that we got the command. Now if you click copy and paste it here, whatever we did manually, we got automatically. So this is how you can get the complete command from SelectorsHub. For this also, I have created the detailed tutorial. You can watch it here. And anytime you doesn't need this, you can keep it off. You can keep it off. Simple. So this is how you write, you generate, and like, you can save the XPath, you can generate with filter, you can add the command here. And how, okay, one very basic thing, how SelectorsHub generate it. So to generate the XPath for any element, you just inspect that element, it will generate the selectors for that element like this. Or you can just simply click on the DOM node here, like click any of the DOM node here, you see that SelectorsHub is generating the selectors for them. Either you inspect it here or you click on the DOM node. Two ways to generate the selectors, and it will generate all of them. Then the third button here is to generate the multiple XPath and selectors. Let's say you want to generate XPath for multiple elements in single shot. So what you can do, click on this and start inspecting all the elements here in the UI, and you will see that it is generating XPath for all of them. XPath and all possible selector, not just XPath. You see that it is generating all of them here. So you find all of them here, and this you can simply copy all just by clicking on this button, or you can also download them. Also here that command feature is available, so you can turn on the command, you can get the command itself, you get the command. If you are using Cypress, you can just pass the cy.get and CSS selector will be appended on that. So for that you can watch this detailed tutorial to understand more about this feature, how you can generate the code direct from the SelectorsHub and complete your automation script in few seconds. So this feature is really helpful, and it also gives you the label name, everything. So this will help you a lot to save a lot more time. Then this third one is the debugger. Like suppose there are some dynamic elements, let me show you. Debugger feature is really good and really innovative feature from SelectorsHub. There are certain kinds of elements like this which immediately disappear when you click something. Like you do right click, you try to inspect those drop down elements, they will disappear. So how to inspect those kind of elements? So for that, SelectorsHub provides you the debugger feature here. Click on this debugger feature, debugger button here, click on this, and within 5 seconds let them make those elements appear here in the UI. Now you just inspect that element, you see that those are held by SelectorsHub here, and you see that now you are able to generate and inspect those elements. You can inspect that and SelectorsHub will give you the auto generated selectors for the currently inspected element here. So this is how you can generate the selectors for the dynamic elements, dynamic drop down, dynamic submenus. And if you have any challenges, please watch the detailed tutorial. I will leave the link in the description. Also you can search in the my YouTube channel for the debugger. So yeah, then once you are done, just click on this here and execute this. So this is basically like debugger you must have used in Eclipse, IntelliJ and all. So this is how you can use this feature. The next is smart maintenance feature. This is the new feature which has been introduced in 4.0. Like today you verify XPath and CSS selectors for your script one by one, right? Like if you have to, your script is failing at this moment, then you will copy this XPath, go back to SelectorsHub, verify that whether this is working or not, and one by one, okay, you will fix this, then you will copy another XPath. Whenever there is a UI change happen, you have to like make sure that all the XPath and selectors are working or not, one by one. But that is too much time consuming. Can we do it like in single shot? Yes. So for that, now we have the smart maintenance feature here. Click here on this button, it will open the smart maintenance window here. Click on this, click to paste all the XPath. So here you just click on this. Now if you are pasting the complete script, turn on this command and paste the complete script here. You need not to segregate like copy just XPath. No, complete script. Copy the complete script. No need to like you need not to like copy just XPath and put it here. No, everything, just copy everything, like import statement, all, doesn't care. SelectorsHub will take care of everything. Now we have pasted this. Turn on this command, like it might be off for you, so turn on this, and here you just pass this command. Let me show you again. Go back, whatever command you have appended on your XPath, copy that, paste it here, and wherever the XPath is there in your command, replace that with XPath value keyword, and click on submit. There you go. Here selectors have fetched all the XPath from your script which are supposed to be verified and showing the results, like this is one matching, this is zero matching, and all those things it is showing. So this is how you can verify all the XPath. Now you can fix them, and you can like simply fix all those XPath easily. Click on this edit button, verify this here, fix this XPath, use it in your script, and maintain your script just in few minutes. Also, like if you want to copy all the XPath, just click on this button, all the XPaths are copied. You can also download, export these XPath, as well as you can generate them with the command, like whatever command you have passed, just turn on this command feature here and pass that command, what was the command, whatever was your command here, and then you can generate that with the command as well. Like XPath value, you pass it here and hit enter. You see that you got it, and now you can just simply click copy and paste it here. After fixing all the XPath values of your page, you just copy and paste. So simply, like very quickly you can do it. Make sure that you open the same page for which you are trying to verify the XPath. Like suppose we want to verify all these XPath on this page, so I will open this page. You should not be verifying on Google, then in that case, like you will be getting the zero result. So let me show you one example. Like you have to verify all the XPath. You have thousands of XPath and you want to verify on certain page, like on google.com. So open google.com here, click on this verify multiple XPath, click on this editor button. You can turn off this because you are going to paste all the XPath here, and suppose you have so many XPath like this XPath, paste these and submit. It will show you the result, and now it is showing 0 of 0 because these XPaths are from this page. So I should verify those XPath here on this page, but if I will try to verify on some other page, then it will show 0 of course. So basically you can verify all the XPath here. Okay, and if you paste them here, like you want to verify all the XPath here on this page, paste all XPath and it will show the result, like 2 matching node, 1 matching node, 0. So this is how you can verify the complete script, all the XPath in single shot without wasting any time. Anytime you want to watch the detailed tutorial of this feature, I have added the tutorial for each and every feature to make it very user friendly and very useful for you guys, so you don't you don't face any challenges while using any of the features. So anytime you feel that I'm not able to use this feature, you can watch the detailed tutorial of that particular feature. For every feature I have added the tutorial here, and you will get the icon over there, right there. And if you feel that you want to delete, copy, everything is there, so just verify them. And whenever you want to go back to the home screen of SelectorsHub, just click on the same icon again, and it will take you to the same screen, home screen of the SelectorsHub. You can turn it on. Then here, this is the button to generate the selectors with double quotes. Like some of the library like Playwrights nowadays are supporting selectors with XPath and CSS selector with double quotes only. So for that, this is really useful. And for some customized frameworks, people write the XPath with double quotes. So by default, SelectorsHub used to generate the XPath and CSS selector with single quote. Now you want to generate with double quotes, so you see that this is single quote. You just click on this, it will generate with double quotes now. And then now if you will inspect any element, it will always generate the selectors with double quote. So this is really helpful. Here you see that you can keep it off if you doesn't want. You see that there are like a lot of selectors has been generated, but many a times you won't be able to see all of them. And in fact, like sometimes you think many people think that, oh, only these are the possible thing, but no, if you scroll down, there are more. So to see all those selectors, there's a button, expand button, so you can click to see the all the selectors in single shot. You need not to scroll now. You see that all of them are there in the UI. So this is how you can get the all selector view basically. Now you see that there are like a lot of selectors, but sometimes what happens, like we don't want to use all of them, right? we don't need all of them, like you don't need tag name, you don't need absolute text path, partial link text, these you don't need it. So in that case, now we have the UI configuration feature. You can customize the UI. So click on this customize UI button, and here whatever you don't want to see, you can uncheck them simply. It's so easy, so smooth, and you will see that only those thing in the UI what you need. Like you don't need this toggle button, you don't need this case insensitive button, uncheck them, and you see that such a clean UI now. Now you, it's very helpful for you, whatever information you need. This is really helpful for those who are working in business, or those who are using SelectorsHub in their job, because they don't need all the information every time. So for them it is very easy. Now you got neat and clean. And here one more thing, one more feature it has, like you can convert your XPath into CSS selector. So when you verify your XPath, it gives you the CSS selector for your XPath. So this is the CSS selector for your XPath. So you don't need, you don't, suppose you don't want to see this SS selector. So in that case, what you can do, you can also configure that, and now you go back, you will not see that as well. So this is again really helpful. We have done a lot of settings according to our purpose. So in that case, like any time you feel that you don't want like you forgot and you want to go back to the default setting of SelectorsHub, this is the last button here. You click on this and it will set your SelectorsHub to the default settings of SelectorsHub. So this is really helpful, like it will make your task easy, and whatever settings you will do, those will be like saved in SelectorsHub, so you need not to worry about that. Now, the very important and really amazing feature of SelectorsHub, generate XPath with axis. Now you see that whatever we did manually initially, we were writing selectors for certificate with respect to TestCase Studio, that you can generate automatically. Here is axis button to generate XPath with axis. So click on this. It is telling you inspect parent. So this is very much like obvious, and telling you automatically that first inspect the parent, let's say TestCase Studio we want, and now inspect the child, and you see that it generated the XPath for certificate with respect to TestCase Studio. Let me give you one more example. Let's say we want to generate the XPath for donate with respect to changelog. So first inspect changelog, then inspect the donate. So here you see that this is the XPath, and this is the XPath previously we generated for certificate. So this will always, like this XPath will come down here. At any point of time, like you feel that you inspect some element here, like this we inspected by mistake, and now but we want to change the parent. So in that case, you click on this axis button here to reset to default, and then you can inspect the parent again. So this is how you can generate. I have already added a detailed tutorial about this feature, so please watch it here if you anytime you miss anything. So this is how you can generate the XPath for axis based XPath from SelectorsHub. Now SelectorsHub has a lot more really incredible innovation, that it supports the shadow DOM, the very first tool which supports shadow DOM. So if you inspect any element, and if that element will be inside shadow DOM, SelectorsHub will let you know that this element is inside shadow DOM. This is the script for to handle this element, and these are the selector for this element. So this is how you can generate the selectors for shadow DOM, and you can write and verify here like this. So this will really help you. So this way you can generate the selectors for shadow DOM element and verify. And if you will do anything wrong, like you will try to write XPath here, SelectorsHub will let you know that this is invalid CSS selector, XPath doesn't support shadow DOM. So this you will learn. It also supports, like there will be, if element is inside multiple shadow DOM, like two nested shadow DOM, then it will let you know that this element is inside two nested shadow DOM, and it gives the complete host, selectors and everything here. It also tells you that this element is SVG element inside as shadow DOM. So all those information you will get it here. Now it also supports iframes in a very good way, that you will not have to like waste any more time to write the selectors for iframe. So if you inspected element will be inside iframe, then you inspect the element, it will give you the iframe XPath as well as the selectors for iframe. So you will not have to waste time like figuring out that inside which iframe it is, what is the XPath for iframe, whether this element is inside iframe or not. So it will help you with that. If element is inside multiple iframe, then it will also help you with that, like inspect the iframe element. And if element will be inside multiple iframe, you see that here it's showing that this is element is inside two nested iframe, and this is the iframe XPath 1, XPath for iframe 1, iframe 2, and then the XPath for the inspected element. So this is so quick and really helpful, and you can just click on copy button and copy and use it in your script. If any element is like SVG element, you will get the information about that, that this element is SVG element. So you see that if we inspect the element, if that element will be SVG, it will tell you that this is SVG element. So this way you get the information that this is SVG element. Also, if you now SelectorsHub, what all kinds of XPath SelectorsHub give you, it gives you the relative XPath, it gives you the index based XPath. Like you doesn't want to get this long XPath, you want the index based, so you have this index based XPath. You have the jQuery, you get the absolute XPath. So all kinds of XPath, access based XPath as well there. So all kinds of XPath you get it here. So this is really helpful. I would really request you that please watch the detailed tutorial for each and every feature I have created separately, because this one, like every feature I have explained in very quick way. Now two more information let me give you quickly. Suppose you want to use it SelectorsHub in dark theme, it also available in dark theme. Click on this setting button here, click on this dark theme but option, and now just restart the like DevTools, open DevTools again, and you will see the amazing dark view of SelectorsHub. So this is how you get the SelectorsHub in dark theme. This is how it will the view of SelectorsHub in dark theme. Suppose you want to use the SelectorsHub in incognito mode, so what you will have to do, you click on this right click on the logo on the toolbar, manage extension, it will open here, and then here you will, it will be by default it will be off. Let me just keep it off. Allow, so here allow in incognito mode, you just allow it, and do not worry, SelectorsHub is very safe and secure plugin. It runs only on your local and it doesn't save any of your user data, so you do not worry about that. And if you want to use SelectorsHub for local files, local HTML files, so allow this as well. And now SelectorsHub you will find, if you will open incognito mode, then you will find the SelectorsHub here as well. So this is the incognito mode. And if you want to open SelectorsHub with the automated window as well, so I have created the tutorial for that. You will find the link in the search in my channel for the automated, how to open SelectorsHub in automated window, that is there. So like if you open the window through Selenium or through Selenium or any automation framework, then you can, how you can open the SelectorsHub in that browser window, that you can find it. So this is how you can use it in incognito mode as well, dark theme. So everything is there. I hope you like this SelectorsHub. I would really request you, please add the review for SelectorsHub here, and also let me know in the comment section how much SelectorsHub is helping you and how much you like it, how much it is helping you. And if you feel that it is helping you, that please consider a small donation for SelectorsHub and support these free tools. If you haven't taken the certificate, please take the free certificate of SelectorsHub from here. This is really good quiz which will help you a lot to learn a lot more new concepts and things. So please take this quiz here, and definitely you will learn a lot more misconception about XPath and DevTools. If you haven't tried TestCase Studio, this is a new plugin which I have launched. So try this TestCase Studio to write the manual test cases automatically, as well as to, it is really helpful to reproduce the bug as well. You get the automatically generated steps. So this is really helpful. Please try it, and do not forget to add the review here. Just click here to add the review, and here you would be able to review. Thank you so much for watching. Keep supporting, keep loving, and keep sharing SelectorsHub. Thank you so much.